Thank you for watching this video preview of the Telltales podcast. This is a reminder that we are audio only after this episode, so be sure to subscribe to Telltales on your preferred platform for podcasts. You can also follow Telltales Pod on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok for future releases and updates. Enjoy! Hello, wanderers of the internet and all 12 members of my family that actually wanted to support me. This is the Telltales podcast. I'm Christian.
I'm Alana.
And I'm Deja.
And this is episode 1. Welcome to our podcast. Here for episode 1, we are interviewing a dear friend of mine. But he goes by DJ Carlo Ren, but I know him as Carlos. Carlos, say hi.
What's good? What's poppin'?
Nothing much, Carlos. So for anybody new to the podcast, this is just a podcast about people of the present, general interview series where we kind of go out and interview our most interesting friends in our circles, and just kind of really make a more relatable connection to the other 7 billion people that are on this earth. So jumping right into it, Carlos, I just want, for those that don't know us, what is your relationship to me, and like how did you meet me, in your own words?
Dang, so I actually was thinking about this. I was like, wait, I think we met each other in like middle school, but we didn't really like connect until like after high school. Well, not after high school, like somewhere in the middle of high school, like like sophomore or junior year.
Right? All right. I mean, it's a decade ago, so
yeah,
it sounds right.
Dang. No.
Dang.
Wow. I'm old.
Anyways.
Yeah.
No, we met like in middle school, but didn't really get to know each other very well until after I left the high school that you went to and went to New Hyde Park.
Yeah,
Cool.
So New Hyde Park, where'd you grew up?
I grew up in Floral Park. I just took like the business program, so that's why I had to commute to the other school in the district. And what's it called? Grew up in mostly Floral Park. I did a little stint in West Hempstead, but it wasn't really that long. My parents were like, "Nope, we got to get out of here," and then dipped real quick.
Yeah. For our listeners, that's in Long Island, by the way. They're, you guys are just saying neighborhoods, but Long Island, New York. Yeah.
Yep. So Carlos, where are you now?
I am currently located in Culver City, California, which is on the west side of Los Angeles.
Nice.
How long have you been
Nice.
there?
Do you like it?
It's really nice. Like, I don't do much exploring, but my cousin came to town like 2 weeks ago,
Right.
and I discovered I live only about like 2 miles from the beach, Venice Beach to be exact, and I'm like, wow, I can walk there. And
Nice.
what's it called? It took him to force me out of the house to actually go see it, and I was like, wow, it's actually a really nice walk, like a lot of interesting people, so it's really amazing. And then, and then the rest of Los Angeles is kind of like within my grasp.
So Carlos, why the move to LA?
Well, because I wanted to see if I can potentially work this was about a year ago. I potentially wanted to see if I can somehow break into the music industry in some capacity. Like, I do a little bit of music production and DJing. And I obviously know I'm not the best. I am no like Skrillex or like Porter Robinson or Diplo or anybody like that. But I still wanted to see if I can somehow break in. I had a few friends that worked at Live Nation and like some of the other massive music companies like Fox and stuff. And I wanted to see if I can potentially snake my way in. But what's it called? With the whole pandemic, everything kind of got put on hold, and so had to relearn how to go about like focusing and like harnessing my dreams in the scope of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to talk about the pandemic and its effect on you, but we'll get back to that. I want to get back to what you wrote in our email to you. You said in your description about yourself that you just are someone who wants to bring joy to others through music, and I think that's kind of like a nice way to put yourself. Like, just, you sound like the Santa Claus of DJs. Um, I have no
Oh, no, no.
Damn.
better analogy for it. So I just wanted to ask you, like, why risk it all? I mean, moving from the East Coast to the West Coast is a big move, and I'm sure it has its fair share of risk. Why risk all of that to chase this dream of yours?
Well, because I feel like when I was living in New York, like I lived there my entire life. Besides, like for 1 year, when I was 5, I lived in like the same mile, maybe 3 mile radius. Went to the same Walmart, same like supermarket, same school, same places. So I felt like I was too comfortable where I was. So, in order for me to grow, I realized I needed to actually break out of that mold and then break out of that to then get out of my comfort zone and then be able to pursue the different things that I needed to do. Like, I wanted to like grow in my job, I wanted to pursue music, and I knew that if I stayed home and if I stayed in New York, I'm probably going to continue doing the same things I was doing for all those years before. But don't get me wrong, I still miss New York like crazy because I'm a New Yorker all day.
Mm-hmm.
You're.
I got my white Air Forces on right now.
Do you ever think you would move back?
What was that?
Do you ever think you would move back to New York?
So I was actually thinking like about a year ago when I moved out, I was thinking, let me see how I feel in a year about LA. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's not that I'm not sure of where I want to be, but it's like, I want to see if I can actually make it feel like home and make it feel like somewhere I want to stay. So I told myself in about a year, I'll reevaluate, see what happens, see how I feel. Of course, I got out here in, let's see, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. I got about a good 7 months out here before everything kind of got closed down and kind of shook everybody's world. So I feel like I decided to extend my thought evaluation process till another time, just because I didn't really get a fair shake at this location.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, New York always has like a special place in my heart where it's like I feel extremely comfortable everywhere I go. Like it can be like 3 a.m. and I'm hungry. I'm like, okay, let me go to the bodega, get a chopped cheese or something. I know Poppy's gonna hook it up with a bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning too. So like, it definitely has like a near and dear place in my heart, and like I would definitely come back, but first I need to work on the things I told myself I was gonna work on.
What do you think is the biggest difference between New Yorkers and LA people?
I feel like New Yorkers definitely like are true and honest friends. Like, you know, if a New Yorker has your back. Like, what I've unfortunately been learning is that a lot of people from Los Angeles are very nice to you to your face, but may actually be really shady behind your back. And it's me. Like believe the best in everybody, and I'm like, oh no, this is just because of that, or I try to make excuses for them. But no, they're. It's harder to distinguish. Like, is this person genuine or is this a front?
Yeah. Do you think it's because everyone is trying to, make it? I mean, in New York, people are trying to make it, but I guess it's not as singular as LA. Like, there's going to be one singer, one band, one DJ in your case, obviously. And I guess in New York, it's very much like they're mad jobs, mad ways to make money. But do you feel that that's correct? Like, people feel like there's only one spot and for whatever they want to do in LA, which is why they, stab you in the back or whatever? Or do you feel like it's something else?
He might be a mixture of that. Like that definitely seems like one thought process of some people might have. But like it also could just be like, I guess like they don't want to like be like like go on and tell the people to their face like, oh, this is what I think, this is what I want. Instead, they kind of like sugarcoat it and then talk about people behind their backs and all that. And it's like, So, yeah. Luckily, most of the people I met out here have been amazing. Like, actually met. It's funny. Like, I meet more East Coast people and like people from out of state than actual people that are Los Angelinos. So, like one of my good friends, his name was Brian East. He goes by a DJ named Boogie Mind. He was actually from Jersey, and he was one of the ones that helped me kind of get started, get some of my first gigs out here. And I was like, wow, East Coast people really taking care of each other.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've experienced something similar with West Coasters as well, so I feel you for sure.
And it's like, and even another friend, so like one of my friends, she actually just started working at my job right now. She's actually from Brooklyn. I was like, dang. Like it made me really feel at home. I was like, and then like every time we text each other, we're just like, Or like, I think she sent me a Spider-Man meme, like, and the Spider-Man meme had like the dude in like the onesie with a freaking New York hat and Timberlands on. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, she was really real, and she was like, I can sense that she's a genuine person, because like there's other people in my job that she doesn't really get along with, but she makes it kind of known, and she's cordial, but she's not like she knows that she doesn't rock with them like that.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like you can always spot a New Yorker, like no matter where you're from, you can just tell that this person has some type of roots in New York. But you know what's interesting? I read this think piece like a while ago, and a lot of people have the stereotype that people from Cali, especially, or in LA, I guess more specifically, are like fake and like backstabbers. But a lot of like LA people will say, well, those are the people who come to LA for the only thought of like trying to make it. Like they don't want to have friends, they don't want to be nice to you, they just have they have tunnel vision just to do what they came here to do and succeed. And those are the people that spread that stereotype. Like people who are from LA are like nicer people, or in Cali in general are just nicer people. But the people who come in, like the people who come in to have those jobs and things of that nature, they're the fake ones. I don't know if you experience. I guess you kind of touched on that, but yeah.
I think I can definitely see that. Then again, it kind of like goes down to each individual person too, like what their motivations are and such. Like, one of my other friends, her name was Karen. No, her name is really Karen. She's actually a really sweet person. What's it called? Karen. She was like one of the sweetest people I met. Like I actually met her at a DJ meet and greet, and then we just been friends ever since. Like she was been like my main contact out here, like to move out, get find jobs and hang out really. And then she introduced me to her friends. And we've gone to Miami to party, to just like hang out. Like it was actually, we went to Miami like 2 weeks before everything shut down. Luckily, we didn't get we did not get sick. Mistakes were made, and I was like, wow, I should have gotten sick, but I didn't, luckily. But yeah, no, she's from not really Los Angeles, but like East Los Angeles, like this area called Corona. And she's been like one of the most genuine, sweetest people ever. And she's really made like my transition to this coast a lot easier, because she's been like a friend that I've had here. That's something that is like, I forgot where I was going with that. But anyways, it's like, it really depends on like the person and what their intentions are, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of the pandemic, You said that you were only out there about 7 months, which is like enough time, but not that much time, to really get settled and make friends and everything like that. So how has your experience in LA been pre-pandemic and post-pandemic? Well, mid-pandemic, because the pandemic's not over.
So let's see. I got out here in September, and I basically hit the ground running because it's like my current employer, I was actually working for in New York, and they made it easier because they allowed me to transfer out to their Los Angeles market. So they made it way easier. So I was just able to just basically pack up, move, and then get started like immediately. So I was kind of working a lot, and I was mostly hanging out with my friend Karen, like I was talking about, and initially it was like, okay, I'm just getting settled. I'm not really going out or anything. Just trying to like see how everything goes and flows. And then like my friend Karen was always like just watching out for me. So then like I suffer from like probably some of the most extreme social anxiety, and she knows this. And so she's been kind of like helpful to like point me out to like different opportunities and such. So around like a month later, she sends me this DM in my Instagram saying, hey, there's an event looking for like DJs to just spin a little bit. Do you want to submit your stuff? I was like, hell yeah, I want to submit my stuff. And then I submitted it, and it was just for this kind of like event called Pull Up or Shut Up. That's where I met my friend Brian that I mentioned. It was literally like just like a DJ event where it's like all like, if you were a DJ, just pull up, bring your music, bring your stuff, and you just play for like small little 10-minute sets. Yeah. And so I met my friend Brian through that, and he was the one that was putting it on. It was like this little itty bitty club in like Culver City, which is close to Venice, and it was just fun to like connect with the different DJs and stuff there. I played my small 10-minute set. My friend Karen and then her friend came out to like support me, which was awesome. So they were like the only two people in there, but it was still really nice. Wow. And then, like I started making connections, and then I stayed DJing with this guy Brian for a while, and then he'd always like ask me out to his different events. Like, hey, I'm not able to make it at this event. Can you DJ for the night? I'm like, yes, I will. And so it was just kind of like slowly progressing in my musical stuff. And I was like, okay, slowly making paces. Like I obviously had never played before out in public, but people were starting to like it. Like people were calling me more. And my friend Brian was also always there for me to like ask me to like come out with him or DJ with him. And so for the first few months, I was just kind of like making paces like that. And doing good. In terms of like making friends out here, it's been kind of tough because, like I said, extreme social anxiety. Unless somebody drags me out, I probably won't go out on my own.
But it sounds like the move for you has been largely successful, because here in New York, you didn't make those connections to really bring out your DJ skills to gigs. So it sounds like the move to LA actually helped you meet the right people and find the right scenes that help you bring your DJ like persona to the next level.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. The connections have definitely been a lot better because at least the people that are truly focused on their passions and stuff are at least willing to give you some help. Another guy I know, his name is Max. He actually just started hitting me up as of recent because he has like this whole DJ portable setup. He has like a small like battery pack generator, stuff like that, and like battery powered speakers. And we've been going to like Venice Beach and just like throwing on free shows. And then it's like just like him, like 5 other like DJs, and then I would just go on, and then we would just like play on the beach or play on the like Venice like ocean walk, I think it's called. It's like it's not really like a boardwalk because it's not made of wood, but it's kind of like just like a cement pathway, and then people were like just enjoying it, and then people are like getting a little bit more exposure from that too. And it kind of is cool that he kind of kept my name in his mind all these months since I saw him, because I actually met him at the Pull Up or Shut Up event with my friend Brian. So then, it's like he's been super awesome too. And that's because these people are really about their passions. They know what they wanted to do, and they wanted to network with other people that were like-minded. So,
are you seeing that from other DJs in California? The adjustments that they're making now that there's a global pandemic going on, doing the free shows, bringing up awareness however they can?
Free shows, like, not so much. What I do see a lot is like a lot of my friends are doing like Twitch streaming and stuff like that. They're streaming on like Mixcloud, and just doing their sets on there, and trying to figure out how to like go about continuing their lives through this. I'm like, I don't know if I'm lucky, but like I really didn't depend fully on my DJing as of yet, but a lot of my friends do, because they were like full-time DJs, stuff like that. So luckily for them, they were like, most of my friends at least got a lot of grants and stuff to like stay afloat. And then they figure out, okay, like let me stream, put my like Venmo, Cash App and stuff, so people can like tip me and stuff, make a little bit of extra money that way. And then their creativity has just been like really shined. It has been tough for them, but some of them have been able to stay afloat, so which is good. But it definitely has like affected a lot of people really negatively.
Yeah, we're seeing that a lot in New York as well. I mean, businesses are being closed, and a lot of people are left without an income. What have you sort of been doing in those first early months as a DJ to sort of keep yourself afloat financially, and I guess keeping that motivation to find these new adjustments that you have made to continue DJing?
Definitely, like, for me, financially, I've been okay, because with my current employer, I work for a company called Enjoy Technology. So, my current employer, they do in-home delivery and setup of different different products from different tech companies. So our major partner is AT&T. So if somebody orders a phone through AT&T and like wants an upgrade, as opposed to going to the store, they would bring it to you at your home or at your work or wherever. And this was pre-pandemic, so they were already kind of in the in-home like delivery and setup mode. So we actually didn't really take any job losses or anything, because when AT&T started closing their stores, they needed somebody to drop off their stuff. So it's it's sad, but also kind of it's good, but also kind of sad. So like I didn't really get affected with a job loss, but what's it called? It's really sad the reasoning why I didn't get affected. But yeah, no. So financially, I've been okay. I've been able to stay afloat. My DJing did take a little bit of like a mental hit, and like producing, because it was like, wow, why am I going to work on anything if I'm not going to be able to do it out and about for months? Like, and at first it was like, okay, 1 month, not so bad. 2 months, okay. 3 months, oh God. 4 months, oh, when am I ever going to get out of this and actually start DJing again? And then, so like mentally, it did take like a little bit of a toll at first. I was like, okay, it makes no sense. Why am I going to practice? Why am I going to do this? I'm just going to focus on work. But then at a certain point, I was like, you know what? If this is the situation that we're dealt, we can't go out, we can't do anything like that, then let me at least build some extra skills to then, when everything does open up, my skills are a lot more attuned and a lot more cleaner. So then people can then be like, oh, wow, he's awesome. Let him pull up to our club that is now reopening, and get this vibe going.
Yeah. Who would you say is like your biggest influence as far as DJs? I don't know if you grew up listening to Hot 97 in Long Island, or like 105, but or if you even get influence from the radio DJs at all. But who would you say is like one of your biggest DJ influences?
So, one of my biggest DJ influences is probably, I want to say, like, thinking more. It was more like he's more electronic, but like Diplo definitely was a big influence.
Okay.
Although like Power 105, like DJ Envy was also an influence on me too. Funk Master Flex was also a DJ influence, but that was more of a when I started listening to him, like what not to do kind of situation. Like stop dropping bombs every 5 seconds. Like, oh, let me rerun it back. Oh, you didn't hear that drop. No, but he's still great. So then I'm just clowning, but it's like, like I just liked the versatility of like the different genres blending. It's like when I DJ, I kind of like to think like, okay, what are they expecting, and what can I do that they're not expecting? I like the all of a sudden like the surprise of what is gonna come next. Like that's one thing that I think Diplo would do right. It's like all of a sudden we can be listening to like ASAP Ferg, and then all of a sudden go to some like crazy like electronic drop, and then all of a sudden we're playing Sade. Like all of a sudden we're hearing Ordinary Love. Like I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to expect, and like for me that's like really awesome. So he's been awesome. Same thing with Skrillex. Like his production of like he can do like an R&B joint with one artist, and then all of a sudden he can drop some crazy dubstep, but then all of a sudden goes produce this other song that sounds nothing like his style. And it's like they were definitely massive influences on me. It's like, and so like when I DJ, I kind of do the same, like something similar where it's like in all honesty, I don't prepare a lot of my sets. I kind of just, when I try to organize my thoughts, I'm like, I actually find that I create roadblocks for myself. So then most of the times when I DJ, I'm just kind of like, okay, we're winging it today. And then I actually have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm playing next. I don't know what I'm going. I'm kind of just going off the fly. And it kind of works out where everybody's just like, wow, that was amazing. And like, you killed it. And I was like, really? Because I was internally, I'm thinking, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what I was going with that, but it somehow worked.
I guess you just like let the music take over you, and like it always ends up working out.
Kind of basically, yeah. I remember when I went to my one of the last events I did with my friend Max, which was like last Sunday. He set up his stuff in like Venice, like on the grass, like right by the like walkway where all the stores are. And same thing that night. He told me that morning, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but yeah, I'll come out. So I just brought my laptop. I think I picked one song that I was like, okay, I definitely want to play this song because I like remixed it, and I was like, okay, I want to play my remix at least. So I was like, okay, I'll start there, and then we'll see where we'll go. And somehow my set was only supposed to be 30 minutes. And there was like 3 people on the lawn watching us. Somehow my set ended up being 2.5 hours. And when I finally looked up, there was a good like 20, 30 people like standing around, like just watching. And these are just like passerbys on like Venice, like walkway, and then different things. And then people were coming up to me like, oh my gosh, can you play this song? And I'm like, yeah, sure. By the way, like when requests are like a big no-no for DJs, like we don't take requests.
Yeah.
But what's it called? My friend had like a little donation bucket where he's trying to get subwoofers to like make his setup a little bit even better. So I was like, all right. She like donated like a good $20 before she even asked me. So I was like, all right, because you were nice and donated, like, let me play this song. And then it's fun because so my friend Max actually saw her come up and asked me for a request. And then he was like, he's not going to do it. And like that's a big no-no to DJs. And then all of a sudden, like, he's recording and you hear him on the recording as soon as I drop it go, oh shit, Chutes and Ladders, he did it. And he was like, oh my gosh, he actually did it. And it sounded awesome. I was like, wow. And then he was like, I did not expect you to do that. I was like, yeah, I had to be nice.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is that DJ
good.
requests are a yes if you slip in another 20.
I mean, talk to me nice, and then we might be talking, all right?
Right, I agree. Sure.
And when I say talk nice, I mean show me to the bag, lead me to the coin.
Exactly.
Quoting Dream Doll, by the way. Shout out Dream Doll.
Dream Doll, okay.
Apologies to DJ Funkmaster Flex. Hopefully he doesn't burn this podcast.
Nah, Flex knows. And the reason, I remember being a kid and being annoyed at that. But then as I got older, my sister told me the reason he does that was because back in the day, people used to like record his sets and then sell them. So he wouldn't get like the credit. Yeah, back in the day where you had to like have a tape thing and you'd hit both buttons at the same time. And they'd rip them onto CDs and shit. So then you're essentially stealing the music from the artist and, taking his mix and calling it your own. So that's why he'd throw but after a while it was just aggressive. Like, I don't even want to listen to the song anymore because there are 20 flex bombs at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, I saw Funkmaster Flex live in the weirdest lineup ever. Like, one of my favorite DJ groups also is a group called Yellow Claw. And they were performing in like Pier 20, I think it was like Pier 25, 26, something like that in Lower Manhattan. Slander opened up and they played like their EDM set and it was like, okay, cool. And then Fetty Wap came on and of course performed all like Trap Queen and all that stuff. And people were going crazy. What's that other song? And I got the soda. I forgot the name of that song. So people were... Baby girl, you're singing.
Mine, like I want you to be mine.
Yeah.
I forgot the name.
Yeah.
Like,
is that 679 or something like that? Baby girl.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Nobody knows his name.
So, yeah, so
that man came and went.
Whatever, he's done for anyways.
Yeah.
So Fetty Wap was doing his thing.
And then at the end, he threw money over the stage. Everybody, like, I was by the rail, so everybody crushed me to get like $3. And then Funkmaster Flex goes on, yes. And then Funkmaster Flex, he starts playing like a song, and then he would stop it, and he was like, "No, I didn't hear you. You gotta yell the song. I don't hear you." I'm like, okay. And then he starts playing. I'm like, okay, let me vibe. And then all of a sudden, I didn't freaking hear you. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh. I think at this point, everybody, because we were already vibing so much that we were just yelling at him, like, shut the hell up. And then this is not just me. It's like people are like yelling at the top of their lungs. And then, but I guess he just did not care, or he was just doing his thing. And then it finally came off. I think there was actually a clap in the audience. Like, yes. I was like, yo. But yeah, now knowing like if they were selling his sets and stuff like that, that was actually, then I can see why he would do it. But in like a scenario like that, there's probably going to be people, and then now with social media, somebody's going to record your stuff. And like, it's just like, why? Just tune it down a notch, my guy. You had us going with the song, and then you had to stop it. It's like, oh. But yeah, no, so...
Yeah, it's excessive.
Yeah, it's a little much right now, so he needs to just relax. But still awesome. He's a what's it called? He's an OG in the game, so can't really front too much. Makes for fun stories too.
Yeah.
So Carlos, do you have like a sound or a style that you stick with, or do you try to be more versatile? Like you said, with like dubstep, house, electronic, just multitude of genres.
For me, like, I think I'm also still in the stage of trying to find my style. I love right now. I'm obsessed with reggaeton music. So like Bad Bunny, J Balvin, all of them, and like that's been like some of the last few concerts I went to. Bad Bunny, J Balvin, and then going to like different reggaeton parties and stuff. Because when I was younger, I wasn't really proud of being Latino. So now that I'm older, I'm like, holy crap, being Latino is actually amazing. So I'm trying to rediscover that, get back in touch with my roots. And so I definitely love putting in some like Latin flavoring into music. Like I remixed one of J Balvin's song called Negro. And that's one of my best remixes that I've done so far. It's like, and then like I've also just done like house remixes and stuff of other like Bad Bunny songs. And like who else did I do? A Lunai song remix. But yeah, and then now like there's just like so many different genres, and like I just love all sorts of music, so I find that like I'm doing a little bit of everything. And then what's it called? And then like my own remixes, I have remixes that I started on my computer that I never finished, but I started like to make a house remix of WAP. And then I still gotta finish that, by the way. So then I have that, or like I have like little like trap beats and stuff that I've been trying to make, just never finish. Producers will probably know the struggle where you start a project and then let it marinate for months and then rediscover it like 5 years later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So like my style, though, like I would say is like I definitely lean more towards like Latin beats, Latin music. Like one of my like favorite styles to do. Like if I can throw in some Latin music, I definitely will.
Where's your family from?
So I am Guatemalan, and what's it called? My dad's from Guatemala. My mom is Guatemalan, born in New York as well.
Okay.
And so like, but I'm also like very influenced by like bachata, like Puerto Rican and Dominican like styles of music. Because mostly like that's who I grew up around. Like those were the only Hispanics in my area, minus like a handful of Central American kids. But yeah, no. So it's like that's why I just like am so attuned to like reggaeton and all like the different artists, Nicky Jam, Daddy Yankee, and all them. And then being out here in LA, like because like I feel like in our area that we grew up, there was like a lot fewer Hispanics. Like especially when I was younger, there was way fewer Hispanics growing up, so I wasn't really connecting with that side of my identity. And so now moving out here, everybody's Mexican, everybody's Salvadorian, everybody has some sort of Latin root in them. Or if you don't have some sort of Latin root, you definitely know Spanish, even though you're completely not Spanish. And so it's like I've definitely been able to, since I've been out in Los Angeles, reconnect and like, I don't even know about reconnect, but connect with the roots that I've kind of put off for years up until now. So it's been really opening, and it's like eye-opening, and it's like I really enjoy like my culture, my people, so then I'm trying to pay homage to that.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, Carlos, one thing you told me very recently, and I don't know if you're comfortable going into this detail, but I feel like it's sort of a big story to share. You said that you were looking to buy a house, and just in general, you're around our age, in your mid-20s. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, what's it called? Definitely trying to keep my credit. Like I don't have the hard assets available. Like just have like a small savings. It's enough to keep me afloat, but like what's it called? Not like enough to buy a house. But my biggest thing is just trying to like maintain my credit as high as I can, and then trying to reduce my expenditures, which I'm terrible at. But anyways, like just really trying to do that because my father's a little bit older than most fathers. Like a lot of my friends, their fathers are like in their 50s, maybe 60s. My father's like 70, turning 73. So I'm trying to really make sure that he's getting older in his ages, and also it's like I'm just trying to make sure that I'm able to at one point, if he needs me to, support him in his like older age. Same thing with my other family, like not just I just mentioned my father, but like what's it called, my sisters, like my mother, if they need somewhere to be, like I can support them. So that's why that's one of my more central goals right now is like, okay, keep my credit score high, keep like what's it called, my expenditures low, and just basically keep in mind that I may soon have to provide for my family. So I'm just like trying to also keep that in mind and like just really have fun, but then also like, all right, take it easy because you're also going to have these responsibilities later on down the line.
I feel like that's a very noble reason. Again, going back to the Santa Claus of DJs.
Hey man, I just try to give the people what they want.
Yeah, to want to buy a house early on just so your family is secure.
Yeah.
And I guess that's just a lot of weight to put on your shoulders. So I want to go back to what you said before, having, you have some level of social anxiety. How have you been trying to, keep up self-care during this time? I mean, not only are you trying to buy a house, but there also is a global pandemic going on. So how have you been self-caring in the past several months?
That is a tricky question, not gonna lie. Like, I feel like I also probably am one of the worst people to actually ask that, but my biggest thing is just definitely knowing that I'm not the only one in this boat. I'm pretty sure we've all had moments of weakness during this entire time where it's like we're all stuck inside. We're all not sure of what the future holds. We're all kind of scared, and I think that's the biggest, like the thing that is just like, okay, knowing that now I can actually be like, all right, so given our situation, what can I do to then progress with my set goals and aspirations? Just trying to figure out like what can I do in this situation, and definitely also just acknowledging like, okay, yes, at this moment in time I'm a little bit sad, a little bit down, but I just have to kind of like keep it moving. This is temporary. It will eventually clear up, be it like 1 year, 2 years. It's tough to say out loud, but what's it called, it will get better. Like we will get through this, and I know that we will. So it's just like that has just been my biggest motivation, is just like knowing that situations are temporary. And I know this firsthand because it's like I remember, Christian, you remember when I moved out here like not last year, was it 2018, summer 2018. I moved out here for like 3 months. I had a then long distance relationship with somebody, and as when we were like saying like, okay, at that point my relationship was like 3 years long. So we were like, okay, like as soon as I graduate, like I'm gonna try to move out there, and we're gonna try to like work on our relationship like when we're not an entire country apart. So what's it called? So then I moved out here. As soon as I moved out here in August of 2018, we broke up. Like literally at LAX when I got picked up. Like I got dumped right there. Like, and I was like, oh man, okay. What am I gonna do? All right, cool. And that's a whole nother story where I'm like, all right. Anyways, so I had plans to move in with this person, and so we moved in with each other, and that person just became like completely different. Turned from like one of the nicest people I've ever known to like one of the most irritated people by like my presence. Like I don't know if I'm making sense, but she was just like very irritated. Like whenever I asked her anything, even if it was something simple, like she would just get so super like irritated and like why am I? It seems like she just wasn't happy with my presence. So I only lasted a month in Los Angeles after I was like, I can't take this anymore. It was very like emotionally and like physically draining to be around somebody like that doesn't want your presence to be there. So I was like, at that point, I tried to like look, okay, can I move out? Can I do this? Can I do that? But the cards were not lining up for me to stay in Los Angeles, so I moved back. And at that point, I was really, really down and depressed. And so I had to move back to New York, back home, and it felt like I took 45 steps back from what I wanted to do. I was just like, wow. So then I kind of like felt really depressed. But what's it called? Eventually, I was like, no, I want to go back to Los Angeles. I have things that I want to do. I want to do this. So given that, like I was able to then just keep up at work, and I was like, okay, no, I'm going to focus on work because then that is my key to like actually get back out to Los Angeles because I know that they will help me transfer out again if when the time comes. So I just kept working and then kept working, and then what is this? Like a year and a half later, I'm out here doing to an extent doing what I like, trying to make the best of the situation. Given it's not the best situation, but when is it ever the best situation for anything?
It's great.
So I was just like, okay, I'm out here. So yeah, the main purpose of that whole story is just to show that it's just something temporary. Everything passes. Like I feel like I'm in a better place. Granted, sometimes I feel lonely because it's like being isolated in your apartment is definitely like it's definitely straining on your mind and like on your happiness and stuff. But just knowing that there's people out there that are also in the same boat, and it's like, and also like staying connected with friends and stuff. I know our friend's mom actually. Me and Christian have a mutual friend. His mom just hit me up the other day on Instagram. It was just like, hey, if you need anything, let me know. What's it called? I think of you as a son. And I was like, oh, it's just like people, like knowing that there's people out there that actually still care about you is also like amazing. And it's like just having, just knowing that your friends, even though they are not in your life, are present, is also another amazing, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Another amazing gift that kind of just like helps you get through all these tough times.
Right.
Yep.
I feel like that's a great story. Like the fact that you tried to move to LA, it didn't work out, but that didn't stop you from trying again. And I think we could all take a little piece from that, and the fact that you're still pushing on through despite the coronavirus with all your other DJ budgies, DJ group, DJ friends.
Yeah, so moral of the story, stay stubborn. Like a true New Yorker.
Yeah.
All right, do you guys have any other?
Exactly like New Yorkers.
Any last questions for Carlos?
No.
I just
where can we find you? Sorry,
Well,
Deja go. Let Deja go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask him his socials because I want to like check out his DJ stuff. But you sound like you have a real question, so
just one quick question. If you had just one tip for any like new DJ who wants to break out into the scene, or like 2 tips or whatever, just what is one of the most important things you would give to them? And just one quick advice.
One piece of quick advice is just practice, practice, practice. I know it's probably like the most corny thing in the world to say, but it truly is like one of the best things you can do. Like, because then as like, if you have the skill to then like, even if like me, like I'm socially anxious, like like last night I went out and I was like, let me go to this place. I drove by the place. I was like, nope, can't do it. Socially, like my social anxiety took over, and I was like, nope, can't do it. Don't want to do it. Like I can't. I don't have the social. Like my social tank is on empty right now. But anyways, it's like even for me, like just practicing when I do get the chance to like show people what I can do, they're like, wow, you actually have a lot of skills. You're so, I remember, what was it, like about a week ago, my friend was like, wow, you're so meek and timid when in person, like, but as soon as you like get on those decks, you're like turned into some other like person, and you just turn into this really confident, really zeroed in individual. I was like, who is this guy? That's not me. I was just like, that must be Alejandro. That must be my alter ego.
Wow.
So it's like, it's definitely one of the biggest things is practice. Like I said, no, it's corny, but if you develop your skills, people will seek you out.
Well, thank you, Carlos, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we can get your socials.
Yeah.
Now socials. Okay, so let's see. It's a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, social media is not my thing. I suck with an online presence. So my Instagram tag is DJ _ Carlo, KARLO _ REN _. Yeah, I spelled Carlo I took off the S and then put a K, kind of like merging my name and Kylo Ren.
In the video format, we'll put it in the right below here.
Yeah, we'll put it in the notes.
Or in the description.
Yeah.
But where can you find you on Mixcloud?
Mixcloud, it should be mixcloud.com / Carlo Ren. No DJ, just Carlo Ren. And then I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, most of my other socials are like that. If on my Instagram, I also have like a link tree. So if you click on the link in the bio, it shows you my different remixes, my different Mixcloud links, Twitter, all that stuff. I'm never on Twitter, but it's there. And yeah, no, that's those are my socials. Like, I try to post regularly, not many pictures because I'm not a big fan of like my photos, but I try to throw up my stuff when I get it.
Nice.
All right, so be sure to give Carlos a follow on your favorite social media platform or music platform. Carlos, thank you once again. Alana, Deja, where can they find you?
Find us?
Yeah. Unless you don't want your social to be plugged in.
No, I mean, y'all could follow. I'm on private, but you know the vibes. It's ALLANAE on Instagram, and on Twitter, I am AE _ for real, one word with 2 R's. That's not private. My Twitter's not private, so follow at your own risk.
Yeah, and mine is, I mean, I really only go on Instagram and Twitter. It's just my name, Deja Chanel, and then _ so DEJA, like deja vu, and then Chanel, I forgot to spell my own middle name, CHANEL, and then _ Deja Chanel.
Don't worry, for the longest I couldn't spell my middle name either.
Yeah, it's almost like I forgot.
Are you sure, Deja?
No, honest story.
Couldn't spell my middle name until I was actually in high school because my father spelt, my middle name is Christian, but it's not like our Christian's spelling. He spelled it the Polish direction. So my dad spelled it KRYSTIAN. And I was like, for the longest I was writing Christian like CHRI. I was like, and then people were like, no, that's wrong. That's not the right person. I'm like, what you mean? And then I was like, Dad, you spelled my name really wrong. And he was like, no, it's Polish. I'm like, why did you spell my name in the Polish manner?
Wow.
I'm like, okay, I guess I'm Polish now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah, just funny little story.
Goes by DJ Carlo. Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
And if you want to follow me personally, you can find me on Twitter as the Cheese Llamas, all one word. And if you want to follow updates for this podcast, go to
Sorry. What?
There's a story behind it. Why don't you ask me on Twitter?
I'll get into it in another episode. Okay.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about
Oh,
it.
it's a great story. Tis amazing. I've only ever known Christian as cheese. Let's just say that.
Oh my
It's a
god.
dumb story.
Wow.
Excellent.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's even worth mentioning on the podcast. But if you do want to follow this podcast for any other updates and releases, follow us on Telltales Pod, all one word, on Twitter or Instagram. And, well, that'll do it for us. And remember...
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Carlos.
Welcome. Thank you all. Thank you all. I hope I didn't bore you.
No, of course not.
No, not at all.
Okay, that's a
Okay,
wrap.
bye.
That's a wrap for episode 1. Remember,
Bye.
the world is so small until it ain't. Small world, Macmillan.